Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of a Pretty Little Podcast. This is the first of the year. Yay! I'm Allie Violet Vixen Commissaro, and I'm joined by my beautiful co-host Jessie.
Hello, welcome back, guys. I am so excited for today's guest. I don't even have words. Allie, please, the intro.
Tonight we're joined by the iconic Daisy De La Hoya, who you know and love from VH1's Rock of Love and her own spinoff, Daisy of Love. From reality TV stardom to her journey as an artist and performer, we can't wait to catch up with Vanessa and hear all about her wild ride and what she's been up to. Please welcome Vanessa, aka Daisy De La Hoya.
Hello.
How you
Hello, how's it
doing?
going? Good, how are you
Oh,
guys? Thank
I
you
was
for having
so
me.
excited when you answered back. Like, I can't even tell you.
The only thing she's been
Yay.
talking about.
Oh my god, really? That's so
Yeah,
sweet.
I've been telling
Yay.
everybody.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, I
cool. Thank
even
you.
got out my
Oh,
I was gonna try to watch it right before you came on. I just didn't have a chance with everything with like winter break and everything with my son. So, but I'm gonna catch up on that after because I don't even really I don't even really remember most of the people. Like we were talking about it before you hopped on, and like we came up with Jess, Heather, who was the other? There were Britannia.
Now that I'm on the spot, I'm like fumbling because that's what I do. But there was Lacey. I feel like I rewatched it not super long ago. I rewatched it during COVID because I feel like that was one of the like COVID rewatches. Also, I have a lot of friends who are just like rockers, so we love throwing on Rock of Love and Daisy of Love because it was just like such good television and big fans.
So before we
thank you.
get into
Awesome.
all that, because we definitely like have tons of questions and everything, and want to hear all about that journey. How was your holiday break?
It's been really nice. I spent it with family, close friends, and I was able to go. I'm in San Diego, so
Mhm.
I was able to go down to LA and spend it doing uh a couple days down there and catch up with my closest friends and family uh and have some quality time with them with my dog and that was nice.
I love to hear that.
So
Yeah.
did you get a
It's
lot of inspiration with being around? Because from your like videos that you've posted, like it seems like you guys were playing a lot of music and you were playing the piano and all that. Were you really
yeah,
inspired?
yeah, of course, I always get inspired when I, get around people who are creative and like-minded, and, it makes me really sad that I have to go back to it's like living 2 different kinda lives in like a dual, reality, and so it makes me sad because I have to go back to, like, a kind of like a normal, I have, like, 2 kinda mindsets where one is, like, kind of like an analytical, rational mind, and then the other one is, like, the fun, like, kind of, like, creative mind, and I can only really do one or the other,
Yeah.
and, one's, like, all, like, business where I have to go and kind of, like, do, like, the normal job because, like, I'm not, as fortunate enough as, like, my closest family and friends to be able to do that work part full time like they are, and
Yeah.
so they do inspire me, because they're lucky enough to have that to be that's, like, their entire life, and I'm blessed enough to be able to be a part of their lives and get to see, the fruits of their labors, and they, show me, like, how they get to live and how they, you know, what they're doing, and it inspires me to be, like them, and, to someday be able to make that to be able to be my full-time, life. That's what I've always wanted in my life, and
Yeah.
that's what I work for every day, Some days are a lot harder for me, because, I wasn't, some of my friends were born into that life. Some of them, worked really, really, really hard. And, and that just shows me that it's possible. It's possible to live your dreams. It's possible to continue to work in an industry that's very, very tough, and
Yeah.
it's a very, very hard work. I know it looks like it's all fun and games, but it's not. It's very, very tough. It's tough if you were born into it. It's tough if you weren't born into it, because it's a lot of work. It's hard to, like, be an actor or be a musician or be a creative, as you guys know. It's hard to keep up with creativity. There's a
Mhm.
lot of creative people out there, and, and it's extraordinarily tiring. It's like take after take. Some of my friends are actors, and,
Yeah.
actors are it's very, very tough. It's not something that's just
Oh,
like,
it's
oh,
brutal.
you go yeah, it's not something you just go and read a bunch of lines, and memorize a script. It's like you gotta, like, be really precise. You gotta, like, it's like over and over and over again, and, you gotta be really good at what you do. And, some of my friends are very good, and so they're very inspiring, and they're all very good musicians, and I love it. I love being around that because it helps me, and they're all sober, and it
Mm.
helps me to stay sober, and it helps to drive me to remember that life of what I was born to wanna do, because then I have to come home to a different part of my life, and I have to be boring, and I have to get the regular job. Some of them have, regular jobs too, but,
Yeah.
they're a little bit further ahead of me in life in that creative way, and so, I have to, like, do that. And also, I do school, and I love school, and I have a different other aspect of, things that I like, that I wanna also incorporate into my life, that,
What are you
and I
going
don't
to
know if
school for?
I went to school for a while for, anthropology and, political science, and
Wow.
those are also things that I want, because, that those industries, are very hard, and after a while, I just got so defeated that I was like, "You know what? I need something also, to fall back on." But also, it was also something that I wanted to incorporate into my life as an entertainer, as someone who could have a platform,
Mhm.
animal rights activism, human rights, learning about other cultures, and being able to use my voice, not just for to be a celebrity or whatever, if I was one, but also to, like, to also be able to, help people and stuff, and help animals, and things like that. Um, if I ever became, rich and famous or whatever. So, but also, and truly because I was interested in those things. So, and then also because, though it's not like those things are all like super very lucrative, but it's just having a stability behind it.
Yeah. You have, like, so much depth to you as a person, and, like, didn't expect you to, like, be like, "I love anthropology," and all these things, like, you have so much, like, you're, like, rich in culture and depth and life experience, so I feel like you as somebody, like, a public figure, like, you're just good to listen to, like.
Well, that's
I
really
love
nice. Thank
people
you.
that have, like, they have heart behind it. It's
Yeah.
not just about, like, we look for people that are not just musicians. They're
Mhm.
not just like a face. They're also a voice and are doing projects that matter and
Yeah.
just doing things that matter.
That's cool. Well, I mean, I try to do something. I mean, that's always been, what I wanted to do in general in life, is do God said, you got to do something
Mhm.
because of the background of my life that I grew up in as a child, was not a very good one. So, it was always like the goal was always to be like, I have to help people, be better because that was, because I was abused and stuff. So
Aw. What was your earliest musical memory?
um well, my earliest musical memory is always, as far as I can remember, I have a lot of like memories like on the toilet. um I like to always like, because I was always like pooping a lot, so like like when you're on like the toilet and you're like, and so I'd always like write like lyrics on a toilet. So always like when I was a little kid, like writing lyrics, um coming up with like melodies
Mhm.
and lyrics. That was always where I started. And so like singing and lyrics and melodies. And I was always recording myself, trying to see if I had this horrible voice that my mother told me that I had when I was a little kid, which like devastated me. Um, she said I was like tone deaf, and I didn't really know what that meant. I didn't know what that meant then until recently. I finally found out what that really meant, which means that I just didn't have like tone. I didn't know how to like project my voice like
Yeah.
higher. No, and so I finally found out what that meant. She wasn't really saying necessarily that I had a bad voice. She just said that my I didn't know how to control the tone of it,
Mhm.
I guess is what she was saying. So I always thought she meant like I had a bad voice, but that's just how I interpreted it, because anything your mom says is like anything that has the words to do with like saying anything that's not like you have a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
That's just what I wanted my mom to say. But she was like, you have a horrible tone. You're tone deaf. I don't know I didn't know what that meant until just recently. Um, anyway, whatever she said I was tone deaf. So I just spent like years and years and years recording myself to Ozzy Osbourne, and trying to mimic him. He was my first rock star as a child that I found. Not only did I like fall in love with him as a person and as a artist, like genuinely fell in love with him as um an artist. Like his lyrics, his songs, him as an individual. Really got to know all of his songs verbatim. Um, his whole catalog. Really studied the way he sang his songs, because I was always like recording over my uh like tapes and stuff. Like, back in the day we would like take I would take the tapes and like put tape over it and then push like record and like be able to record over the tape, because you weren't supposed to, you can't record over tapes unless you
Yeah.
like you can put tape over it and then you can record over it. And then I would study like, who produced it, who who the record label was and stuff like that, and like, just got like my basics down. And then I was like, I want to be, I want to be a rock star when I grow up, because what I really wanted to be was an actress. But like, I didn't feel like I was pretty enough to be an actress, but that was what my secret heart like wanted. But
Mhm.
I didn't feel pretty enough. And even though my mom said like had a shitty voice, like I knew like it didn't really matter that my mom said I had a shitty voice, because I could not stop singing. Most of my family was musical except for my mom, so maybe that's why she like, said I didn't like, I don't know, like a lot of people in my family were musical. One of my uncles like he would always sing. He played drums, he played guitar. One of my uncles had like a band, like a cover band. So I got like a lot of my musical influences. Like
Mhm.
that's what we always were doing. We were always, I was always singing constantly. We would like change the lyrics and make up funny lyrics and do things like that, like as family like, weekend fun things to do. We were like, but they had like a really good catalog of music that I, stole their music. They had like Scorpions and all the good like 80s music that
Yeah.
I got from them. Like the good stuff. So I got that good influence of all that really good music, 60s and 70s and 80s, and really cool stuff that I grew up with. So I got like the mental disorder and like the addiction and the really good music. That's what my family gave me. So I'm really stoked on that. Um, but otherwise, that's what I spent my childhood doing because I was also, kind of like neglected and abused, but
Mhm.
I didn't know any, that's what I did. I looked up to my parents a lot, only because of those things, because I wanted to be included in their musical, like, musical, like,
World.
get-togethers,
Mm.
because they were playing, like, cool music and stuff. So, I
Now, is it
just,
a
like,
lot different for you writing music sober?
well, that's a funny question because I have been slowly, like, doing that, and it kinda is, to be honest with you. And, you know, um, it's it's sort of, it is a, like, different feeling. It's a different feeling. Um it's kind of feels a little difficult. There's some, you know, sort of, mm, feelings of, like, inadequacy, um, a fresh feeling of, like, but then sometimes when I'm listening to some of the stuff that I've written lately, I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, I'm like, "What is that?" But, the other stuff that I wrote, I was sober and it was with a band. And I mean, I was mostly sober. We were mostly sober, and those musicians were sober, because that
Mhm.
stuff was written with it was with guitar stuff. But the stuff that I had been writing, like, in the last, like, year, I was it was, like, in a desperation, and it was, like, not really thought out, and I was just like, "What is this?" I still think it was creative and it was good, but it definitely needs, like, more, um it's kinda painful to listen to, it's kinda triggering, actually. So I'm, like, listening to it, and I'm, like, remembering, like, where I was, like, in this emotional, like,
Yeah.
aspect, like, what was going on, and so and it's actually not bad if I could just take more time to, like, get with an actual producer and, like, sift it out and, like, sort of, like, untangle it because there's a lot of pain and emotion in it, but it's definitely not something that's worth, like, putting out just yet. Like, obviously, I need to work with a producer with it. It's not something that's, like, but, writing something now it is a little bit, like, it's a little bit more, I don't know, it does feel, like, a little bit boring, so it kind of, like, makes me it's a little triggering, and sometimes it is triggering, like, being in, like, when I posted some of those videos online, and I'm, like, in that room, and I'm, like, thinking, like, "Ooh, this is really kinda triggering too," because I'm, like, not that, like, not that those people were doing any, whatever they're doing is their own business, but, like, for me, I'm, like, it's kinda bringing back some memories from my own self, like, during my own tour or whatever, and I'm thinking, like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so hard," like, just new things because I'm only just newly sober, and, I'm, like, you know, those things are new ventures for me because I haven't done those things yet.
It's
Some
such
things
a
are
good
so
time
new.
though, because so many things are like wrapped in with nostalgia and like the Y2K movement and like all of those like this is the time I would love to hear Heartbreaker. Like if you did something with that and changed it up, like, and I
Yeah.
know a ton of people out this way that, I mean, definitely a nostalgia tour. I mean, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, no matter what, I love performing, so performing in itself is a high, so,
Mhm.
there's never, like, um and obviously, I always want my performances to be spot on, so the more sober I can perform, then the better.
More clarity, and you definitely have so many supporters out here, like we were saying earlier today, we have been telling everybody that you're coming on, and I just like the response has been amazing, and so
That's
any
really
new
sweet.
music that you put out, I know so many people that will personally really care about it, and I'm just like I'm excited to see the things that you're going to do in the future and the things that you are doing. You're putting in the work and to just like do amazing things. And I'm proud of you. And thank you so much for being on. You
I
know.
just have to go back because I'm like
Yeah.
stunned that you thought that you weren't like attractive enough to be in movies.
I did
Because
think
can
about
we just
that.
point out
Yeah.
that the shirt that you modeled, I think shorts too, that you modeled for Dirty Shirty. Yeah, I remember that. I did have a Dirty Shirty. I can't believe I got rid of it. I feel like somebody stole that because I wouldn't have like just got rid of that.
Mhm.
But that sold out and that was all you. Like,
No. What?
how
What?
did that feel to be, I mean, you made that brand. Like, I mean,
No.
those are
No,
iconic. Do you still
I
have
appreciate
any of that?
that. Oh, no. Oh my god, I wish. No, I've gone through, like, so many, um, clothing, like, get rid ofs, but that's so cool, thank you. That's so nice of you to say such a beautiful thing, thank you. Yeah, I've always had a struggle with that ever since I was a kid, which held me back so much from being able to, like, actually participate in, being an actress, and then to make it sort of even further, I went out and I got a bunch of tattoos,
I
and
was
then it sort of sealed it, like, kinda sealed that, like, I don't even know why, 'cause, like, that was, like, the sort of, like, well, if you wanted to be an actress, why would you go out and get, like, all these tattoos all over your body? Now you're definitely gonna make it harder for
feel like
yourself?
during that period of time, it really was a lot harder. I feel like I see more actresses with tattoos now in the last couple of years, so it's never too late if you wanna explore that avenue. I've definitely seen, like, because 'cause I'll be watching something, I'll be like, "Oh, wow," like, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have seen, like, a tatted up, like, actress on this HBO show, and I love that. So it's never too late for that, but I think that, going the music avenue, you've definitely got to embrace your personal style, and your personal style affected like waves. Like everybody wanted to be
I had that picture of you with the Jack Daniels bottle, like, on my wall in my room.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. So I mean, I guess like then that's when I decided to like really go full blown like for the music thing because I was like, you know what? It's very, very hard to make it as an actress. Um, and I felt like I was just always sitting around um waiting for the next like time like anyone can give me an audition and I was honestly an awful actress, I guess. And so I decided to just like, you know what, let's try music more because I've been doing that, I've been practicing singing and performing and doing all those things since I was a kid. And I just decided, and I did the whole thing, touring in bands since I was 18. So I just decided to take control of that destiny a little bit further. And I'm not saying that I was ever the best musician, but I just it's like you have to take control of your sometimes of some of your dreams, and that was the best that I could do was is put that destiny into control, and that's what I did. And then people seemed to really like that, and I was so grateful that people supported that dream, and I just ran with that, and that was really cool, and so that's what I did. So I was so grateful everyone was like, "Yay, we
You
like
did
this
something
for you."
that's so much, like, it's so much more than, like, just being in a movie or whatever. Like, you literally made
Bless you.
America fall in love with you. I
we
mean,
really did.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like, the amount of people and I mean, like, I posted you saw all the pictures, like, the different styles through the years, like, for your promo, and you would not believe how many people reached out. They're like, "Oh my god, like, I love her, blah, 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 I can't wait to watch it." Like, that's gotta feel good, and I mean, what? Rock of Love was in 2007?
Yeah,
So
it's
you
like a
got a
lot. It was
couple more
before me.
years, and that's coming up on the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, I don't know, like, what I love that. I feel, like, so grateful that, my fans have really stuck by me and, and have cheered me on all through these years, and been patient with me and, really helped me through, like, a lot of hard times, and I don't know why, like like, I mean, I love you guys so much. You guys are so special. I feel so grateful for you guys.
Aw.
And you guys are
Oh,
also freaking beautiful. Like,
Oh,
thank you.
I love it. I
Like,
love you guys.
oh, we love you too. Like, we were so excited
yeah,
when
and
you come on.
seriously,
Yeah.
there was like a handful of people. Like we kind of had a list when we started the
Mhm.
show of who we wanted to come on, and you were definitely on that list. And
Yes.
it's been
Thank you.
amazing because we've got to mark a couple of the people that
It's been
we
awesome.
had gone into, and it's just amazing. And like they've all been exactly like what you would expect them to be, and like it's just been an awesome experience. But it is a little surreal, like you sitting here in front of me.
I was gonna say you were such a style inspo for Allie and me. What were some of your style inspirations?
My style inspirations have always been like Madonna. She was always one of my big style inspirations. I love like high runway models like from the 90s.
Yeah.
Um rock and roll art, like the 60s. It's really weird. I got a lot of my inspirations from like guys. I don't know why, but just like high runway fashion is my one of my biggest inspirations. I love those. If I could look like my first like dream was to always be like a high fashion runway model, but obviously I'm 5'2", so that was never gonna happen, like, no matter what, and so I always wanted to, like, pray, like, like, "Please, please, like, please somebody, like, fight," like, in the mall, I'd always be like, "Someone's gonna discover me in the mall," like, that was always, like, but that
Yeah.
was, so, I'm, like, a huge fan of, like, Kate Moss because she's, like, the shortest, like, supermodel or whatever, but, um, so I don't know, and then, I like the boho looks and stuff like that, and just really just creating your own, look. I like to layer things and just I like upcycling, and I like to just take things, and I really like, the whole like preppy look, and just making things I like to recycle clothing, I think it's nice to like keep keep clothing around. I don't like to we're always buying clothing all the time, and it's kind of crazy, because like there's so much clothing out there. You could just like, sometimes I find clothing on the street. I'm like, like, oh, that thing's cute, and just like
I
wash
know.
I'm
it.
definitely a fashion hoarder. Like I've been going
Yeah,
through my closet because like it's just a little bit insane. And like I'm like, you know what? Like I've had stuff since like high school that like I need to part with at some point. And it's just been crazy. Like the things that you keep through the years and
I've been
all the different ways that you've worn it like through the years and through the different like trends that have happened.
I'm
yeah,
very
because you can like mix and match, and like I'm like always like planning my outfits, and I mean I like to make things too, or like make a different. You can make different things with things, and you know.
Yeah, can we talk about the t-shirt designs that you've been playing around with?
Yeah, okay, sure, if you like. I like, so I, I mean, doing making clothing has been something that I've always wanted to kind of like do, but I just, I
Mhm.
don't think it's really something that I kind of like wanted to do, but it's just something that I think it's always just something that's just been around, like,
Yes,
because I
same.
like to, I have like some type of weird affinity with like, um, fashion. I think it's a Libra thing or something. It must be like a Libra thing. Because I just love looking at beautiful clothing, people wearing beautiful clothing, beautiful people like in clothing, like aesthetically. I like to look at, and I don't think that it needs to be constantly made though. Like for
yeah.
some reason, like I don't like that. Like I like to. I think we can refurbish it or whatever in ways. But anyways, So I do have a like it's not I'm not like the best at it because it's a hard thing to me. Like I'm not I don't know how to make clothes at all. That's where
Mhm,
like really smart people who know how to like make clothing who go to like fashion school and I tried to make a bag once and it was really hard.
mhm,
But printing dye subbing on fabrics where you can like come up with a design where I come up with a design like stardust. I love the stars. I love the moon. I think we're all made from like stardust and stuff like that. And I have stars. I love stars. I always love stars and the moon. I'm really suspicious of the moon. I don't know why it's there, like other than to just be there. So I'm always like, I'm watching you, moon. But like, so I came up with this thing. I always wanted to write a book called Stardust about like my life or something like that. But anyway, so I came up with this name. It's probably already taken, so because everything's taken. But so I came up with the name Stardust, and then I just try to come up with like the best like art, kind of cool like weird designs that I could. I'm not perfect. Called Stardust, and then it's like or like a thing like live forever Stardust, and like you're Stardust or I'm a Stardust, and like
mhm,
something cool, like something Stardust, like, keep smiling Stardust. Like I made my best friend and his girlfriend shirts for Christmas. And then I like, kind of like there was like smiley faces and I like kind of like did some, ripped them up a little bit. And then it was like one was like your love is a drug, Stardust. It like he's the Stardust, and like she's the Stardust, like keep smiling Stardust, like she's Stardust, so, there I'm trying to get it like up on Etsy or whatever, and I'm not very good at like, following through with
I
things.
could
I always
totally see you doing something like the girl from Nasty Gal, like where you take pieces of clothes and like alter them and like kind of give them
yeah, I love
your own style.
I would that's like my dream. I would love to do this. I love this like upcycling it.
yeah,
That's like my favorite thing. So I kind of like did that to his because like it, like I find like random pieces of clothing that like
mhm,
and then I like kind of like alter it a little bit and give them like my thing. Yeah, of course. And then I like you know, um, I don't think he liked it though. He was just like, "Thanks." He like threw it in the pile. I was like,
You'll know
"Okay,
if
love
he
you."
wears it.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you'll
Well, maybe when I'm gone, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that shirt." Anyways, though. So that's what so yeah, that's what I but one day I would love to make, you know, if I could make eclectic things like Betsy Johnson or something like that, or if I mean, it'd be cool to be like, um, Alexander McQueen or something, but obviously that's
he's
like
on
some
the
big
here.
time shit. That's like big time. You know, someday.
What
We'll get
was your
there.
favorite outfit? Because you did like a ton of different like magazines and stuff through the years. What was your favorite outfit that you got to wear?
There are like lots of things. I love when people make me special outfits.
Mhm.
When like local like when designers who are up and coming when they design outfits. There was one on I think it was at the end of my show. There was this designer who designed my dress that was at the end, I think at the final of my show. It was really pretty and I really liked that one. That was my favorite dress. It was like really cool. It was because I like dresses things that look very like apocalyptic and like super cool.
Oh,
Like
cool.
yeah, I like that. I like that kind of stuff. So that was like one of my favorite things.
So
I wish
let's
I
get
wish I still
into
had that.
how did you get connected with Rock of Love in the first place?
Well, I was I was in I mean that's like it's a weird story that's you know I was in my band with my ex-boyfriend and I was doing acting. I was, 'cause that's what I was doing obviously in Colorado, and there's not really a lot lucrative a lot of lucrative things for someone like me in Colorado. And it's not really lucrative. The only things that you're gonna find in Colorado as an actress is gonna be like for commercials.
Yeah.
And I, I'm not a very commercial kind of person. I didn't have that commercial again, look.
Yeah.
And I did land like one commercial. I worked like really hard and nobody wanted to represent me, because I didn't have this like girl next door commercial look. And I worked really freaking hard, and I ended up getting a commercial. And then they were like, "Oh, yay." And then I was like,
What was the
"Cool."
commercial for?
It was for this girl. They wanted a girl who could play guitar for it was called a VHIX. It was like it was like a some type of like online car like commercial,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
it was like a nationwide commercial. And it was they wanted a girl who could play guitar, like to be like a guitar spot. And they were like "Oh, we want you." And I was like, "Yay." So I was like it was like really cool. It was like an online car ad or something.
Mhm.
And because commercials are actually really, they pay like really good money.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and like so actually Colorado is a really good place. Commercials like a really good thing that you want to get because you can like make a lot of money for commercials. They're better than like anything that you can otherwise you're gonna get in Colorado a lot of um like indie like college
Indie films.
film. Yeah, like
Yeah.
college indie films, and that's kind of what I was getting. And that like if you look at my IMDb, like and that's not really like it's cool experience, but, so then I was like, I need to move to, like, LA, and my ex-boyfriend didn't wanna move to LA. He was just like at that time, my ex-boyfriend at the time, he didn't wanna do that. He just could not do it, and I was just like, "Dude, I can't be here in this freaking Denver, Colorado anymore." I'm from California,
Mm,
I was born there. So I have this, like, bug in my body, I
Mhm.
have, like, the entertainment gene, like, in my body, like, I'm like, "I'm a Californian." Like, and everyone's always like, "Where does that accent come from?" I'm like, "I don't know, what is it?" He's like, "I don't know, it sounds like a Valley Girl accent." I'm like, "What?" So, I'm like, I'm full on, like, Californian, and I need to go there because this is my dream that I've been dreaming of since I was a little girl. And he's just like, "We can't just, like, go there, da, da, da." I'm like, "Bullshit, people do it all the time." So, our relationship was turmoil. I was, like, doing a bunch of drugs, he didn't know about it, and I was just, like, praying to God because I like, not only did I, like, have a really bad drug problem that he didn't know about, and I was even searching for, like, rehabs because I was so desperate for, like, something to happen. Like, I was, searching on, like, Craigslist. I was like, "Something has to happen." Like, either I gotta go to rehab, I gotta, like, get a book of parts, I'm tired of being a dancer,
you
I'm
need
this
change.
relationship is not working. Yeah, I was like, "Please, God, I can't I'm so sick of doing cocaine." And I finally found a casting director uh, on MySpace, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna look at this casting director for freaking Rock of Love because, like, please, God, like, let them be having, like, a second season because I figured that they were." And so I turned in, I emailed the casting director, and I was like, "Hey, are you guys, like, gonna do a second season?" And they were like, "Well, we've already casted the people, but if you send us a videotape, like, right now, we might, consider you." And I was like, "Okay." So I went to my, like, freaking, um, acting coaches at the time that were, like, didn't really care about me, but they kinda cared about me since I booked a commercial. And I was like, "Please help me." And they were like, "Okay, like, what do you gotta do?" And they're like I was like, "I gotta just, like, send in a video." And they want me to, like, do a song or something. And I was like and they're like, "Okay." So I put in this, like, stupid song called Rock and Roll Monkey, and then I sent it to them, and then they were like, "Oh my god, we love you. You c fill out all this paperwork." And I was like, "Okay." And then, like, 2 days later, they were like, you're booked. We're gonna send you to Los Angeles, and we're gonna, like, put you through the next phases." And I was like, "Yay!" And they're like, "Yeah, we just decided that we're done casting, but, we thought your video was so stupid that we liked you." And that was it. It was, like, so stupid, and that was, like, by the grace of God, and because I had, like, already had, like, background enough, like, a following on MySpace, and I had, like, all this other stuff, like, going on, like, in my life that was just enough to, like, get me through the door.
Mhm.
They decided that I was able to, like, be sufficient enough to be on there.
What was
Thank
that
God.
like? Like, what
I
was
was
it like walking in there, like, and being in a competition with those other girls,
Mhm.
I
having
was I
Bret
was
right in
so
front of
great I
you?
was so lucky. I felt so lucky because, I didn't it wasn't like I just, like, I had been working really hard for
Yeah.
years to doing all this other stuff. I had been, like, going to acting classes. I had been, going to singing lessons. I had been, working, in a band. I had been praying to God. I had been crying years on the floor. I had been, and then I finally, when I walked on there, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like grateful. I was just like, I was like stunned. I was like, "Whoa, this is it. This is it, dude. You made it." I was like, "Whoa," everything was just like, I was like, and my ex-boyfriend couldn't have been more supportive. He was like, "Pack your bags, just go. What do you need?" Because he was just like, "If I can't make it, I want you to make it." Because he's like, somebody, one of us has got to make it. You know, so that was really nice. That was, because it's hard, and it was really it was a dream. It was the dream come true all of a sudden, and I was like, I never, but it was a dream of never stopped. I've never stopped believing and praying and, like, and working really hard every single day of my life since I was born. Like, a praying, going to, like, walking through every single mall, and every sleazy guy coming up to me like, "Hey, you're beautiful. Do you want to be a model or an actress?" I'm like, "Yes!" Like, and, like, going to every single thing and praying that this would be, like, the final, like, the break, and, like, and begging my mom and, like, everything, like, every day of my life since I was a kid, to,
Mhm.
finally I was like, "Here I am, I'm 26, and I finally, like," all the things that I've done, all the abuse, like, all the crying, all the pain, all the suicide attempts, and I finally made it. That's what it was like, you
Was
know?
it crazy
So
being in front of a camera? Because they taped you basically all the time.
no, no, it was like, I didn't give I was stoked. I was like, "This is
You're just eating
amazing."
it up.
I was yeah, it was like, here I am, God." Like, God was like, I was just like, it was just so beautiful. The one thing I didn't wanna do was, I just didn't wanna look at myself because I didn't wanna, like, fixate on anything.
Yeah.
I didn't wanna fixate on my flaws or anything. I just wanted to be there and just do the best that I could do, and be the best that I could be, and, be as I didn't even know. I just was trying to be in the moment, you know? I was just trying to be in the moment, and,
are you still, like, in touch with any of the girls or Brett?
no, I have not spoke with Bret Michaels, unfortunately, for years, decades. Not decades, I don't know, like, for a while. And, Lacey, I'm in touch with her, of course, because she's a really sweetheart, and she's one of the hardest working. The other girls are hardworking too, but, Lacey, she's very kind, and I've known her the longest, actually, because my band used to play with her band, and my
Wow.
ex-boyfriend has known her for a really long time. And she's very kind, and we lived in Las Vegas together.
That's so crazy.
That is
Now, were there any moments that you wish hadn't aired, or it was so fun living in the moment you just didn't care?
Um, I think, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, I feel, I mean, I was ridiculous, yeah, because God, I was such a inexperienced person.
Mhm.
Like, so cringy. Yeah, I was definitely cringy. I was young and inexperienced and cringy, but if people liked that, I don't know. I guess that's
I
You
think
know, I cry a lot and I do a lot of cringy things, and I think that, I'm embarrassed for myself that but as an entertainer or whatever it was that I was doing, I can't really, you live and you learn, and that's what, you know I think, those outfits and, what was, what my demeanor and stuff, and sometimes I look at myself and I don't really watch it. I don't really remember what it was like, what I was doing. But you know, it is what it is. It's sort of,
Was
I
it
can't take it
crazy to
back.
have your own show and have all those guys, like, vying over you and, like
I was gonna say the fact that you were such we all responded so well to the person that you were. Like looking back, you could think like, oh, that was cringy of me. But as a viewer, so many you were the fan favorite to the point where you got your own spinoff is how loved you were by the public and loved you are by the public. And that must have been awesome. How did it go about getting the spinoff?
A situation that I didn't really, that they sort of choose.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So
they probably
that was like an
had,
awkward.
like, email
That's something
after
that they
email after post saying, like, "We want Daisy."
Yeah.
Sorry, that was so awkward. I'm like running to the house, like trying to yeah, that's something that but I do know that the way that they presented it to me was really special. And that's something that I'll never forget. And that, the producers were really amazing, and that they have like a really special way of making you feel. And I think that that's, it's there's nothing like being, you know, just when you're in production under contract with things, it's a very special thing. You're very well taken care of, and I really appreciated that. And and I'm so grateful for to be able to be, there's nothing like being able to be working as an actress or as an entertainer. It's a very privileged thing, and I'm just so grateful.
What was the funnest date that you went on the show?
Which one, on Rock of Love or on Daisy of Love?
On Daisy of Love.
Um, I don't even remember. Jesus. It's like been like 100 years. Let's see. I can't even remember. Like, frick, I can't even remember any. Oh, I don't know. I really liked the Doom Buggy one a lot. I feel like that one was one of my favorite ones. The Doom Buggy and Christ, I can't even remember like the dates. It's been like so long. So you'd have to refresh my memory on the dates. I haven't even seen like the show in like 100 years. But the Doom Buggy was really fun. That was like one of my favorite ones.
It's
So
awesome.
They were all trying to, like, outdo the next one. Like, I wonder, did they get to design their own dates, or were they kinda told what they could do and, like, go from there?
I don't really remember that either. It's been like so long since I've like even,
Mhm.
and I'm like, so many things have happened in my life
Yeah.
since then. Like a million things that have been just as outrageous, or if not more outrageous, have happened in my life since then. So it's been like those memories of that show have like been like completely erased from my life. Like, and
Yeah.
Now,
to like
after
a
doing
million
all that and being on the
insane
other side of it, if you got asked tomorrow to do a reality show, would you do it?
to do another reality show like
Yeah.
Daisy of Love, or a different one.
Um, Probably a different.
I think I would do it. I would do it. Yeah, I would do it because I mean, it's why not? Of course, sure.
That's so crazy. I could, like, that must have been, like, overwhelming and fun at the same
Yeah.
time, like
I still feel like reality show like most of the time. I think it's like ingrained into my soul. So I feel like a reality show always. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like a really weird like thing that's like happened to me. So for a while there, like it just I have to I felt like I lived like a normal life for quite some time. And then there will be times when I'm like around like a lot of people, and then I feel like we're living in a reality show sometimes. So when I'm just around like certain people, like just like a small amount
Mhm.
of people, then I'm like, okay, I'm living like a normal life. And then when I get like around like a bunch of people, I'm like, oh, I feel like we're living in a reality show. It's really weird.
Hmm.
Like if they came to you and said, like, we want to do a reality show about you and your friends.
Yeah, then well, it would be something that would be a normal feeling. I would be like, yeah, well, like it would probably be a good. I mean, hopefully people will like it.
Like, was it harder for you being the main focus, like
Mhm.
with your own spinoff?
Yeah, I don't like to be the main focus of things. I would rather not be a main focus.
Yeah, I couldn't. It would be hard for me too to have that many guys kind of like spitting game at me and like coming at me at one time.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure to be like a main focus. Like I would rather not be main focus. Like if I accidentally end up a main focus, then that's different. But like I feel like I'm always like everyone's always upset at me. Oh, like that's where I feel like everywhere I go, I feel like people think that I'm trying to be a main focus in life, and I'm not. Like I'm just trying to be like me, like hiding in the background so that people don't think that I'm trying to be a main focus. Cause but that's just like my personality sometimes, and I can't help it. So I always try like to not be a main focus. So
Mhm.
I'd rather just like not be a main focus for people and just let other people be main focus.
I think you're like a natural born star though, and like entertainer and performance. So even though you try not to be, you try to be in the background. I think that your light just will always push you forward. And I think that's kind of what happened on Rock of Love and stuff like that. And how ultimately Daisy of Love happened is because you have this light. You are Stardust. You have this light in you. That
Well, I
like
try not to be. I'm always like, "No, like, go in the background," so that people don't always think that I'm, like, trying to be like, "Oh, look at her, she's trying to be a diva
yeah.
all the time, like, blah, blah." I'm like, "No, I'm not, I swear to God, I'm just, like." So I have to, like, tone myself down because 'cause I'm like so that people don't think that, like, I'm constantly always trying to be like, "Oh, look at her, she's diva all the time."
Mhm.
'Cause I'm like, "No, I'm not." But, like, drama seems to always, like, follow me everywhere accidentally. And then I'm, like, embarrassed, 'cause I'm like, "Oh my god, no, I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose." Like, they're like, "Why are you like, why is it always like a I'm like, "I'm not, it's not, I swear to God, like, I'm not trying to make this, like, a big thing."
That could be a really good song right there.
It
Yeah,
starts
I
like a
could
therapy.
tell. Like, I think it would be fun since you are so creative and like it is really about storytelling with you. Like, have you ever thought of like creating like a storybook with your songs?
No, but that sounds interesting. Maybe.
Yeah, I would love for you. I mean, I would just love for you to put out a new record
Like, what do you
and
mean, like, a storybook for my songs? Like, "Today I went to the storybook land,
well,
and
like,
I
you know
played
how some
my."
people they'll have their songs kinda, like, flow into each other? Yours could basically be, like, a story, with your different experiences in your life, and you could actually,
Concept
like, make it into, like, a book where you're, like, talking about each of the things inside. There could be a lot of fun things you could do with that.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, you
I love
definitely
it.
I mean, you
Well,
have the following, and, like, with how brutal that people can be online and, like, behind a screen, I mean, the loyalty and the just love that your fans have showed you, like, it's pretty amazing.
I know, I'm so grateful. Like, I don't even deserve it. It's a beautiful thing that I have all these amazing loyal fans that are for like over a decade. And I've done like one thing, you guys. I've given you one thing. And like I'm so grateful. Like it really means like the world to me. So I better work harder and give you guys more stuff. I better give you like gold pancakes with like silver dollars or something.
Mhm.
I need to give you guys something. I need to give you something beautiful, like because Rock of
give
Love and
us
Daisy of Love
songs.
is not
Give
what?
us songs. I'll take
Yes,
songs.
I love that. Okay, okay. Working on.
So out of the
I'm
songs that you've done, what is your favorite song?
um I have some songs that are like unreleased. I have one song that I don't know if anybody's heard yet, but like um well Fame Kills, and then another one um that I like is Who's to Blame, and I like also uh um I don't know, and I do like Heartbreaker, that's a good one. Um Addicted to Love, I like a lot. I like that one. I don't
Now,
know, there
for
it's
the
hard to
ones
like
that you
explain.
haven't released, is there a reason why you haven't released them?
I just really don't know how to release music. And I'm like the worst artist in the entire world. I really am. I'm not a very good artist at all. Um,
TikTok
I
would
don't
love
know.
you. I feel like they would
think
just
so too.
eat you up, like, post a couple clips of Heartbreaker up there and Addicted to Love, you got it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it though has been because I don't want to make excuses. I don't know. I don't know. I just because I'm not very good creatively, to be honest. I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't feel like I'm a very good creative. And also because I was heavily deep in my addiction.
Mhm.
And when you're heavily deep in your addiction, it's hard to like do anything, but also, I'm just I was I don't really believe a lot in myself and my creative powers. And then I was in you know, a an abusive relationship with drugs and just not in a good relationship you know, um with the person that I was in love with. And that took up a lot of my time, and that was, hard to sort of um get anything done. Both of those things, because that was a lot of time consuming, and um you know those both of those things took a lot of my energy, and a lot of my emotions, and um you know a lot of my self-esteem. So,
I was just saying that, you know, 2024, that was like a year of like learning and growing, at least for me. Like I mean, I grew so much in the past year and just have like I- learned and listened. Like I've really learned to sit back and listen to what people are saying. And I feel like 2025 is going to be a great year. So all that
yeah,
music that you haven't released, release it. Like if you want to do tours, like I think you should get back out there. Like we're all rooting for you. We're all behind you. You
thank
only
you. Thank
live
you so much.
once. Let's get it all out there.
That's so nice. Thank you, Allie.
So are there any projects that you're working on right now?
There is that. I have, just trying to sort out my music, and then, trying to just finish up school because, during my addiction, I really dropped the ball on my schooling, and I have to fix that. That's something that really meant something to me. And just trying to get my life back together. You know, right on track. I had somebody who I was in a relationship for a really long time, for like 10 years, and they took a lot of
Yeah.
of the care of my life. And so I let that happen, and as a result, I have to start all over. I have to learn how to get a job and support myself again. And that's been a real struggle because, I haven't worked as an artist or as a just a regular human being in like 10 years. And so that's a real problem. because when you try to get a job, people are like, well, I'm working like 10 years, and in either category of any work, so that's kind of been a struggle, but I'm working on that, and I'm in a safe place. I went to a new state, and I'm working on getting school back, and I'm working on my sobriety, and working on my mental health, and making sure that I keep all those things intact, and that's the project that I'm working on, Project Me.
I love that. That's like the most motivating thing to hear for 2025. Definitely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love I love seeing you do good. Like I really do. I mean, we've been through all of it, like and followed your journey, and this is your year. We're rooting for you. Everyone's behind you. Let us be your
Mhm.
cheerleaders.
Well, thank you so much. It's a lot of pressure, but thank you. But I appreciate that because that helps keep me straight. So,
What would you say is the most rewarding part of your musical journey?
well, obviously, the most rewarding part is when people like it. I mean, the rewarding part is when people are like, "Oh my God, I love that."
Mhm.
When people are, because I remember, like, I was like making music a little bit ago, and somebody was like, "I hate that," and I was like, that made me cry actually.
You're like, then it's not
So
for you.
yeah, so I'm like really sensitive about that. Um, I want people to like what I do, obviously. And I know some people are like, "Oh, it doesn't matter, like, if everybody likes," but I mean, obviously, I mean, it does. I get some people are right, and some people are, but for me, a rewarding part is completing it. I
Mhm.
think obviously to be a good some completing something, a finished product, and then a good finished product, just to get out there, and then for somebody to be like, "I love that."
Mhm.
That really, inspired me. I really, I love this, this makes me happy. And then for them to feel some type of way about it.
We like to do like a fan question. So my friend John wanted to know, are there any artists that you would like to collab with? And is there any chance that you will ever do a collab with Corey Feldman?
Oh, that's the thing. I was actually okay. So I had two people in mind, and one person was Grimes. I've actually
Cool.
Grimes. I've been wanting to collab with Grimes, who, I don't know if you know who Grimes is.
Yeah, she's a great artist and super talented. Aunt Angels was a insane album, and there's some real hits on there, and the rest
Yeah,
of
so I've been wanting to collab with her since the very first day I've heard her music.
Mhm.
And then the other person I had in mind that I was gonna say was Corey, but then I was like, I don't know if Corey would be like, but then you said it, and I was like, oh, I guess that was meant to be it. So, that I think it would be interesting to collab with Corey. Corey is a little bit like too like I don't know if we would do a good collab together though. It'd be hard to collab with Corey because like his music is like really sophisticated. I don't know if we would have a good collab because like our styles are really different. But you
Mhm.
know what I was also thinking? I think it would be really cool if him and Grimes like got together and like dated.
Yeah, she needs somebody to, you know, do her right after the Elon Musk. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like I don't know if he's ever heard her music, but I was like gonna text him and be like, I hope you could like date Grimes or something because I think he would like he needs like a good like cool girl, and I think that Grimes
Yeah.
would be like really cool for him.
I think Grimes is super interesting, and, like,
I
she's
do
got a
too.
lot
I
of
love
thoughts
her.
going on, you know? I love a introspective woman.
Yeah, I love her. I would love to work with her. Um, or I would love to at least just, like, go on tour with her. I
Oh,
think that would be really
yes.
cool. Um, or I would just love to be her friend.
I think I would also love to be Grimes' friend. Like, we should
Yeah,
absolutely. Grimes, if you see this,
yeah,
we wanna collab with we wanna collab with Daisy, and, we would love to be your friend, so
yeah, and if you wanna date Corey, I'll put in a good word, and then we can, like,
yeah.
be, like, we can be, like, um, in-laws or something. Christmas is really holidays are fun.
Mhm.
So speak is that you guys are talking about how you're fans. Let's talk about some of your fans, Daisy. What is a memorable fan interaction?
Memorable fan interaction, they're all memorable. I love my fans. I think that they're all, really sweet. They always wanna, like, help me. I have to tell them that I'm fine, I'm okay, because a lot of them wanna, like they were so generous recently, they were like, "Oh, do you want us to, like, send you things?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm totally okay." Like,
Mhm.
during some time of like, sometimes, like, things that were going to on, and I said, "No." Um, I have, people, that they're just lovely. I love them. I
Mhm.
think that they're beautiful. I love, um, getting messages from them. I love, I have all these, like, fake Tom Cruise fans that come on, and I love them. They're, like, fun to interact with.
Mhm.
I love talking with them. Those are my favorite ones. Um, and I just love all the people who send music and, like, makes and I love, sometimes people say, like, weird like, some people will say, like, weird things and, like but I never get, like, too crazy with fans or anything like that because I'm not,
Yeah.
like, a superstar or anything. But I love people who, like you guys, wanna do interviews. I love, I'm, like, I feel so lucky because, I'm, like, nobody, and I think, commonly enough, I have a lot of fans that are who are Corey's fans too, and I think
Mhm.
that's really cool. So I think that that's a really unique shared, gift, and I feel really I feel, like, really even more connected to Corey for that, because we've been friends for, like, 15 years as well, and so I love that. Um, it's like a big family, and, I just feel really grateful that anybody cares at all. But I feel more grateful because they actually care, you know what I'm saying? Like, they actually care about, like, my well-being, and they inspire me to, like, be healed and, like, go on, and, like, that's what makes me care. Like, some of them have made me cry because they've been, like, so sweet and said, like, some of the most, like, great like, nice things, and also, like, helped me go on another day, like, to choose
Mhm.
to be an artist. Like, they've literally, like, been my family, where I don't have family, where they've literally, like, helped me to get to do my dreams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've actually, like, cared as an artist. Which is hard because that's all I
And that's
have.
definitely, like, really important for sobriety too. I mean, like, having a
Yeah,
support system that is solid like that.
Mhm.
yeah, like, they've literally been like, "Daisy, we love you, please go on, please, like, don't hurt yourself, we're there for you," or, "Are you okay? We're worried about you," or, "Why haven't you been on?" or, "What's going on?" And that's, like, more than enough. Or, like, "Daisy, we want you to, be able to do your music," or something, or just one fan will be like, um, you know, "I loved your music. I love your music," and that'll inspire me to, like, get up and keep going when I've been, like, on drugs, like, sitting in my apartment, like, sad as fuck, wanting to kill myself, and that, like, one person, like, gave me enough, hope to I'm gonna, like, start crying about it just thinking about it just now, because, like, it had things like that are so painful. Oops, my little bendy fell off. Um, to people like me who, that's all I have in life is, like, those are all the things that I've known to do in life is to just wanna be an artist. And one person, um, who just one comment like that to somebody like me who that's all I've ever wanted to do,
Yeah.
that's, like, the most important thing that I could hear is somebody just say, "I loved your song," or, "I loved your, I watched Daisy Love," and I don't get paid for that shit, but and it doesn't matter. Just for them to say, I watched it and you inspired me and all those things, that, like, makes me so happy. You know, even though it's not, like, my ideal, like, actress job, like, it makes me happy. Sorry, I'm gonna, like, start crying. I don't wanna say it's like sorry. That's, like, the most,
I'm so excited for everything you have to come because you seem like you're in a really good place now,
Yeah.
and I just wish you all the best.
thank
Seriously.
you,
And we are all rooting for you.
We're all rooting for you. All our viewers, all our friends, and we're we're so excited to see what you do in 2025.
thank you, that was so nice of you, thank you so much.
We're all
Thank you
behind.
for having me on too.
No problem.
Oh, thank you for taking the time. Like, I am so excited that this gets to be like the first episode of the new year. It's exciting.
Yay! That is exciting.
But I told you an hour and we're already over that. So I will wrap it up. Is there anything else that you wanted to say to your fans or the viewers watching?
I just want to say thank you so much again for helping support me through my sobriety and through all my tough times. And I love you so much, and I'm so grateful. And I can't wait to see what you guys do too. And I'm there for you as much as you're there for me. And I appreciate you. And so I hope that we all have a good 2025. And we'll just see what happens and keep going. So thank you.
Wish you all the luck in the world. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And to all our viewers, Happy New Year.
Happy New
We
Year.
made it.
She's so cool. Also, just like so much positivity. Um, Also, I love
I
seeing
feel
people.
like that's exactly what everybody needs right now. They need to feel the positive, and honestly, for her to come on and everything she says, like, it kind of brings me back to when she was on reality television and why everybody fell in love with her the way they did.
I think that it's easy to forget how much people care about you. Especially during the holiday season. Um, and I really sympathize with all the things that she's gone through in her life. You know, I, you know, and I'm just rooting for her. You know, I'm a child of addiction, so, um, you know, I have so much sympathy.
Yeah, and I have so
with
much
people.
respect that she is so open about it and she's
I
talking
know.
about it and saying, like, look,
I think
I was in a bad place.
mhm,
And like for her to say that she's working on me, I mean,
yeah.
how many people do you have come on that actually sit there and say, I'm working on me, I'm working on
I
myself?
was really moved by that, and it definitely, I don't know, it put something, like, in me when she said that, that was like, "I'm working on me too," and that's gotta be the focus of 2025 for me too, is working on me, so, really inspirational. Like, I don't think she understands her own impact almost, like, from back then
Definitely not.
until
Like,
yeah.
I hope she does the clothing. I hope she does all of it because
I agree, and what an awesome person Daisy is, Vanessa, and we love you so much, and we love all our viewers. Happy New Year. Thank you for sticking it out with us another year, and, we're lucky to have you all, and I can't wait till this goes up, and I can't
we
wait.
got lots to come this year.
I know, we really do. Thanks, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, share. It does it all. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.